I'm not even. I won't even be mad at him if I was. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
That is the time when I already hit rock bottom and said to myself that, listen, you need help, and you have to be assured that I will be there for the birth of my first child. I tried so many ways to tell her or to get her or whatever to just forgive. I mean, I can't recall. Maybe the times that I can count it was, I can count it on one hand how many times I've gotten a compliment, for example, from Tiffany.
We've been talking since at least September, maybe August, but for sure September.
Long
And
time.
yeah, finally getting to do this. I was really hoping I could fly there. I was waiting to get my booster, got my booster, and now there's, like we just mentioned, the Omicron.
Yeah, discovered in South Africa. Can you believe it?
Yeah, so that's a whole new situation, and not quite sure how vaccines work against that. So here we are on Skype. So how is the situation there?
Well, apparently they just closed some international borders. Um,
Mm.
yeah, we're going into a bit of a higher level lockdown again. Um,
Oh, okay.
yeah, the president addressed the nation earlier tonight. I didn't get to watch much because I was just worried about if he's going to ban alcohol again or not, and luckily he didn't. So, but now the sad part is the international borders is closed for
Yeah,
UK, US. Yeah,
yeah. We'll go ahead and move into some of the questions. And this is kind of going to go back. I hope it's not too painful to bring up some of these older questions. But
let's hope not. No doubt.
back with, as most of us know you from, is of course your marriage with Tiffany and your appearance on 90 Day Fiance. Just starting with easy questions. How did you guys meet?
We met through a mutual friend when she came to South Africa to visit a friend of mine, obviously, who used to do au pair work in the United States.
Hmm.
Obviously, her contract expired and the visa was over, so she had to come back to South Africa. And then Tiffany and the friend came to visit this friend of mine. And my friend said, "Oh, Americans are here. I have to introduce you to them." And yeah, that's basically how we met.
Mm,
When I
okay.
when I got in the car, Tiffany was sitting in the back, and I just came from vacation with another woman friend of mine. We went to the sea, and as I got in, I said, "What's up, ladies?" And then I just started talking about my vacation because it was very nice. I enjoyed it,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Tiffany just rolled her eyes at me and probably thought, "Ooh, take this guy or whatever." But yeah, as the night progressed, started getting along really well.
And when was that? Do you remember what year?
2017.
Oh, okay. So you guys
I'm
have known
not
each other for a while. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys always saw each other in South Africa. You never were able to come here before that?
No, no. We were going to do the tourist visa, then we found out, okay, now if you're dating someone in the States, you cannot go on a tourist. So we were going to do the K1, and then obviously with time, the K1 turned into the spousal. Yeah, look, eventually me and Tiffany got engaged, and that's when we wanted to do the K1 visa. And as we were about to start the K1 visa, we decided to get married. So every time there was something stopping us or preventing us from doing it the way we wanted to do it. But yeah,
Yeah.
it was 3 years ago that we started the spousal visa, and yeah,
Okay.
need I say more?
So whose idea was it to go on the show?
Well, definitely came to me with the idea. Definitely came to me with the idea. I was a bit against it. And then I gave it some thought and I said, okay, well, let's do it, because she was going on, she needs an answer. They want to interview and those other things. I was a bit against it, and eventually both of us agreed, okay, let's give it a go, and we did the interview and another interview and another interview. And eventually I told her, what, I don't think there's anything going to come from this, because there's so many interviews and nothing is happening. And then all of a sudden, boom, you guys are approved. And I definitely wanted to not do the show then. She just tried to figure it out. And I said, we're already so far, so let's just let it do it. I mean, we can use the money for the visa or whatever. And
yeah.
That's how it came that we agreed to the decision to do the show.
Had you ever heard of the show before?
No, not at all.
Not a typical guy show, right?
No, not at all.
Yeah, when I have it on, my husband walks out of the room. He's not into
I believe that. I'm not even, I wouldn't even be mad at him if I was. So it is what it is.
Yeah. So why were you hesitant to do the show at first?
I was just thinking, like, me, Ronald, South African guy from Manfredine, you'll never get to be on TV, man. Don't worry. This is all just a bluff. Never thought it will actually become a reality. And that's why I was very hesitant. I didn't think about the hate or anything that you're gonna get from that. But I just thought, no, this can't be. I'm way too. I'm not that lucky to be on TV. For example, if I can say that. Lucky is maybe not the right word, but yeah. I mean, it has its
it could actually happen.
If I can say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never thought it could happen to me.
So it took some time for you guys for the show to start filming. Were you guys still on good terms at that time, or was there already starting to be trouble in your relationship?
When we started to film, there was already trouble in the relationship, but nothing that we probably couldn't pull through off, because by the time they wanted to start filming, that is the time when I already hit rock bottom and said to myself that, listen, we need help. And that's when I put into the wellness center. While I was in there, they wanted to film. Everything was just happening very fast while I was in there, especially filming wise. Because I am supposed to focus on me, and the film crew rocks up.
Do you think that hurt you a little?
No, not really. Not really. I mean, do I regret being on the show? Maybe a bit, but not that much. Would I do it again? Maybe. I don't know. If push comes to shove, I don't know what I'll tell you, even though I told them I don't want to film again. But if they ask me, I don't know what I'll say. Maybe I'll do it, maybe I won't. Depends on my situation or where I am. So
So was the reason to hurry and get married, was that so you could apply for a marriage visa instead of the K1 visa?
One of the things that I said to my mom when I was in the wellness center, I said, when I come out, I want to marry Tiffany. Now, this is just before the show actually said, listen, we want to film you guys. But my idea of a wedding was totally different. And I would say the TV show rushed it, if I can say that.
You don't think you would have gotten?
Well, The Bachelors wouldn't have happened. Let me tell you that. First of all, The Bachelors wouldn't have happened. The stripper wouldn't have happened. I mean, all those type of things played a very big role in arguments and fights and those type of things. Do I regret getting married? No, not at all. I mean, there was a time when Tiffany made me happy. Um, but the TV show had a lot to do with our arguments.
I can see that.
A lot.
Yeah, I've heard in speaking with other cast members that, of course, for dramatic effect, they like the drama, they like the negativity. It makes for better storylines. I can see
Yeah, I
how
suppose.
that would have a
The,
not great
yeah,
effect.
the producer knows what buttons to push. He
Hmm.
knows what buttons to push.
Could you guys feel that?
So, yeah, no,
Yeah.
definitely. Like in other seasons, like the What Now and that Live After, a lot of times we mentioned to the producer, no, we don't want to talk about that, or we don't want to say that, or whatever, because then we already knew now, okay, they work like this and this and this. But damn, they good.
Oh.
They still got in
Wow.
between somehow, some way. But it is what it is. I enjoyed it.
Okay.
So,
So as I told you before, I lived quite a few years, 11 years, in fact, in Asia, different places, different parts. So I met a lot of people who did marry, in other countries, and saw them go through the process of the paperwork and all of that. I was just wondering about your paperwork, because we had kind of talked about this. Why wasn't the marriage visa CR1, is that correct? Why wasn't that applied for
that's correct.
in South Africa?
Well, the thing is, she has to apply for it by the US Embassy, and Rapid Visa, that's not the place we are working through using to help us with the process and stuff. They told us strictly that it must be processed and filed for in the United States. I don't know why, I don't know how, but that is what we've been told, and that's what we've been doing. But
Yeah.
a lot of things just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I found that really, really super strange, because everyone I knew did it in Asia, in the different countries there, at their embassy. Because they lived there. They weren't coming back and forth. They were rooted. And so everything was applied for there at the US Embassy. And then not the actual applicant, not the American, but the foreigner would then go and have an interview by themselves. And it was, at the US Embassy, yeah. And then even like the green card, the ones who were moving back here to the States, they had like a green card interview that was just the foreign spouse in the American Embassy. And then they were given like packets. And then when they came to the United States, they would go straight to immigration with the packet. They weren't allowed to open it. And then they were given a temporary sort of green card. And then they had to wait for like the proper one to be mailed to them. But this was all done like without ever entering the United States. This was all done at the US Embassy. And then once they came here, I mean, they were already approved for green cards by then. So yeah, I remember like that part of the story was really strange, because like I had to help provide paperwork for some of my employees and things like that. And, I knew it was like a difficult process, but it was all done outside the US, just in US Embassy. So I thought it was really strange that, especially because Tiffany was there.
The thing is that's weird for me is we had to send the papers to the US CIA, something like that, some office of the US. They first reviewed the application. They first looked into it and did some research, and I don't know what they do, everything. Then they approve it. Once it's approved, then it goes to the NVC. Now that it's by the NVC, now the NVC wants the sponsored paperwork and all the all the documents we gave to that office, wherever it was in, I can't even remember. Those same documents needed to be filled in by the NVC, but the NVC has the original papers that was sent to them. So we had to fill everything online again. And that just didn't make sense to me, because now they say when you get to your interview, you must have your original paperwork with you.
Right.
But the originals were sent in to that place. That doesn't make, I don't know. Never came to that part, but hey, that's all I know.
So was the original plan always for you guys to live in South Africa?
I wanted them to live in South Africa. Tiffany said she will, when she said that she's not going to stay there, stay here. She told me that if the visa fails, she will move to South Africa. And that didn't work out the way me or her planned or hoped for. And when we did research, I mean, we planned college, right? So I told her that, listen, I don't want you to get pregnant and then have to go through the birth of the child alone. Either you're going to have to give birth in South Africa, where I can get private medical aid for you, and you will get proper healthcare, proper hospital, everything, just like in the United States. Or if you decide to have the baby in the US, we have to be assured that I will be there for the birth of my first child. It definitely assured me that, listen, this place says 6 to 9 months and then you are there. And we applied for it and not 6 to 9 months.
Oh, so you missed her birth.
6 to 9 years. I don't know. It's so young. Yeah. It was completely a bugger up. And then COVID hit,
And here we are.
Started the whole cycle.
Yeah.
Yeah, here we are.
What do you think started like the real breakdown of you guys' relationship?
Definitely not being able to forgive. I tried so many ways to tell her or to get her or whatever to just forgive. I mean, it's not that hard. I know I did wrong. I know I hurt you in the past, but how can we move forward if we keep looking back? How can we move forward if we keep throwing the past in my face? She had a lot of resentment towards me about how much I hurt her. And that was the starting downfall of everything. Because now it's like I'm going to get you back for how much you hurt me. And then I'm like, no, it doesn't work like that. I'm going to get you now back. It's like a vicious cycle, basically, that started with one another wants to hurt each other. And even though the love was there, the distance buggered it all up. Because eventually Tiffany decided, no, she's not going to come. She doesn't feel the need to come, or she doesn't want to be here. She has things to sort out in America, those type of things. And I take it as, if you don't want to come, I mean, I'm missing out on the kids.
Right.
Then I hold that resentment against her now again. And that's one thing on another. This really like piles up eventually. But yeah, love turned into hate eventually. And I was just getting tired of being sweared at and cursed at and being spoken down upon and looked down upon and telling me I don't have a place and, I'm not a man. Yes, there's too many things that was said. Both of us said a lot of things to one another that was wrong. I mean, there was one time when she actually on social media, she posted the emails of me cursing at her.
I remember.
but she doesn't show her messages just above that.
Mm.
She's cursing me, and I keep telling her, stop. Don't say it. You don't mean it. Just stop this. All those type of things I keep saying to her. And then I reach my limit.
Yeah.
I keep asking, listen, don't do it, don't go this road. She doesn't show that part. And
Mm.
when I blew and I couldn't control myself for what I said, she only posts that.
Wow.
That's,
That's unfair.
that's
Yeah.
the story of my life. I
One
mean,
of the reasons I really wanted to do this interview, not to take any sides, because only the two people within a relationship really know what happened.
mm,
But I always felt like from you guys' first season, I can't recall her ever saying anything nice about you, either to you or in the little like confessionals they do after a scene where you guys are talking by yourself. And they never really had you say that much, but they had her talk a lot. And I always thought, if you feel this way about someone, why are you pursuing this relationship? But then I think sometimes, I don't know, some people just, they just can't see any positive thing. They always want to focus on negative things. And I always felt like that. And I think a lot of us did. And we felt sorry for you, because it's like, who wants to see their partner, whether you're a man or a woman, who wants to see their partner just always have something bad to say about you? Never
exactly.
something nice to say,
I can't recall, maybe the times that I can count it I can count it on one hand, how many times I've gotten a compliment, for example, from Tiffany.
Mm-hmm.
Just even a well done, or I'm
Mm-hmm.
proud of you, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You won't hear that from Tiffany. Never. I don't know if it's a culture thing or something, but it started to feel to me like a way of control. So the
Mm-hmm.
more she speaks down on me,
Mm-hmm.
the more she's on top of me,
Mm-hmm.
and then she controls me.
Yeah, that's not our culture. That's an issue.
Yeah, she's
Yeah, I
difficult. Let me
mean,
tell you.
for
When
myself,
I met her, she wasn't like that.
for myself, nobody's perfect. So I'm sure there's things I do drives my husband crazy. There's some things he does I'm not super happy with, but I don't want to tell my friends, to tell my family like his faults, because I'm proud of him. I love him. I want people to love him too. Well, if I tell all my friends, all my family, or the whole world how bad my husband is, I don't think that makes me look good either. So
Precisely, because now you're pursuing him the whole time, but you're complaining about
mm, so yeah, and I
what do you
think at
want.
first people were like, "Oh wow, she's got a really big heart. She's given this guy a chance, and he has all these issues." And then after a while, it's like, if all you hear is all this bad, then you start to look poorly on her, because it's like, well, what are you doing then?
Yeah,
So
it is what it is.
mm-hmm,
It is what it is. And I told her the same thing not long ago. I told her, why do you want to be with me? Because it just doesn't make sense. What do you want from me?
mm-hmm,
You just want control because you didn't want the family. You didn't want the husband. You
mm-hmm,
didn't want nothing. I mean, if you wanted that, you would have pursued it. You would have fixed it.
mm-hmm,
We tried how many times to do things differently and to try and avoid not falling back into the same pattern.
mm-hmm.
We were lucky if it lasted 2 months at a time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because yeah, I can still recall it was in this year where we had a huge fight, a huge thing, also a breakup. Um, I think it's when she posted those emails.
Mm-hmm.
of me cursing her. You know, where I ended up begging, and I'm talking about begging like a dog,
Mm-hmm.
begging her for another chance. And she didn't want to know nothing. She kicked me to the curb, cursed at me, swear at me, blocked me everywhere. Um, it cost me how much rands of airtime to do an international direct call just to beg her to speak to me.
Mm-hmm.
And that to me was the last straw,
Mm-hmm.
if I can say that. Because I told her I will do this and this and this and this to fix things. But in 2 weeks from the day she said, okay, so give me a chance. Every day, every day, we will argue or fight about something that she is doing, but she's complaining to me that when I do it, I'm wrong. So I must let her know, for example, when I go to the shop, but she doesn't need to let me know. I must let her know when someone is here by me in my place, but she doesn't need to let me know when she's going to somewhere. Those type of things. You know, I told her everything you expect of me, I expect of you. I mean, it goes without saying. But yet you can't practice what you preach. All these things from me, but you can't do one of them. I mean, how does that work? I mean, posting a thing on Instagram is not proving any love to anyone.
No,
Not at all.
you do something like that because you want support and pity and people to tell you you're right and the person you're mad at is wrong, and that has no place in marriage or a relationship. You know, that's
Start when you are married, not just to the person you are married to, the whole world.
when
What makes
everyone's
things
watching. Yeah, yeah, I agree with that.